Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, reacting to the Toronto Raptors 125-107 win against the Washington Wizards. Late podcast here today, we're sorry about that, but the Toronto Raptors came out and handled their business against the Washington Wizards, and in my opinion, I think this was a phenomenal game for the team. Now, I know the Washington Wizards are 6-12, they're blowing it up. We made a video on how Bradley Beal's all over the rumors, and the Wizards are trying to trade everybody, but they always have a strong game against the Raptors. Last week, we went on a 3-game losing streak, and then we didn't play, the toughest, most high-caliber talent in the league. We played the Bulls, who obviously aren't too great. The Magic, who've had a solid season, but we always have the Magic's number, and the Atlanta Hawks, who are outright tanking. So the Washington Wizards come into Toronto, and we just go out there, handle our business. We always have trouble against the Wizards. They're a very talented roster, regardless of what their record says. And, came out, bullied them, did what we need to do. We'll get straight into this game. The first guy we got to talk about is Kawhi Leonard. 27 points, 10 rebounds, and this is why we have Kawhi Leonard on the roster. This is why he is here. He's been in and out of the lineup as of late, and when he's played, he seemed a bit out of sorts. He hasn't really felt like he's meshed as of late, but this is the Kawhi Leonard that we need to see. Playing within the offense, 12-22 shooting, which is phenomenal numbers, phenomenal efficiency. Just getting the ball within the flow of the offense, or just getting it and creating shots. We need a guy that can consistently give us a bucket when we need it. That's what DeMar was to us last year. Kawhi's got to fill that role and obviously provide the strength and everything that he does on the defensive end and the ability to move the ball. And that's what we need out of him. Obviously, maybe not on a night-to-night basis, but that's what we need on a consistent basis going into the playoffs, because then we do need it on a night-to-night basis. So everyone can gel, everyone can get some chemistry, and, he's such a good player. Just looking at him, he looks unstoppable out there. He's got an aura about him that really, you watch him play, and you expect him to score. You expect him to do something good with the basketball. So he hasn't been bad in the games he's played. It's just he hasn't had that dominant feeling in a couple weeks, and I think that's something that the Toronto Raptors fans missed, and I'm really happy to see that he's back. Hopefully he can keep it up. We got a really tough schedule coming up, so we need everyone clicking on all cylinders. So shout out to Kawhi Leonard, really good game last night. And the second guy I got to talk about is Kyle Lowry. He's also been a player that's struggled the past couple weeks, and he came out, not crazy box score numbers, 15 points, 9 assists, but he did what he needs to do for this team to win. He didn't force any shots, but he got us threes, he got us buckets when we needed them, and he was creating for other players. He's out there setting up everyone. This is when Kyle Lowry's been at his best this season, when he's creating. He's the maestro, the conductor of the Toronto Raptors offense. He's telling people what to do. He's sending the ball, because he's been a phenomenal creator, and that's been invaluable, so valuable to the Toronto Raptors team this season. So if he continues to do this, gets back on that track, the Raptors will be fine. Everyone plays better when Kyle Lowry's creating, when Kyle Lowry's out there doing what he does best, creating for other teams, getting buckets. Kyle Lowry's an all-star. We all knew he'd bounce back. Love what I saw from Kyle tonight. And the Kyle Lowry of the bench mob, the Kyle Lowry of the second stringers, Fred VanVleet, another guy who's not been too great as of late, worried about decision making and all that. Tonight was a prime time Fred VanVleet game. It was a game that we're used to seeing from Fred. 13 points, 7 assists, 4-7 from the field. He was out there making phenomenal decisions on the basketball court, and that's Fred VanVleet's best skill. That was his best skill last season. He can shoot, he can pass, he can defend, he can create, he can do all that sort of stuff. But the reason he was the 6th Man of the Year candidate, I personally think he's the best backup point guard in the NBA. You guys can argue that in the comment section below. But the reason I think so highly of Fred is because of his decision-making and his ability to do smart things, get the best out of all players, go in, create, anger other teams because he doesn't do anything stupid. Usually the reason backup point guards are backups is because they're poor decision-makers. To be a small NBA player, which is usually the players that play the point guard position, you have to be outstandingly skilled. You have to be able to shoot. You have to be able to do all that. And you can look around the league and see a lot of players that are capable of passing, shooting, as third stringers. Very talented players that are smaller. But the reason they don't succeed, the thing that separates them is the decision-making ability. And Fred has that. That's Fred. That's not where Fred is lacking. Fred doesn't really have an area where he's lacking. It's been a bit up and down this season, but that's usually a positive for him. And to see him get that back tonight, it was great to see. We just need that consistency like he had last season. It's been tough to call him Steady Freddy this year. It's been up and down. There's been a lot of stuff going on. People are in and out of the lineup. Last year, he obviously played with the same 4 bench mob most of the game. So there might be some chemistry issues, whatever. I've already talked about the chemistry issues on past podcasts. But Fred VanVleet is a phenomenal player, and he deserves recognition. And once he gets that chemistry or whatever it is, heals from his nagging injuries that he's had at the beginning of the season, this is the Fred VanVleet we need, and this is the Fred VanVleet that is so invaluable to our team. Just shout out to Fred. Love that guy. Hopefully he can keep it up. But, I just ranted about Fred for a while. The guy that gets underrated, I think, this season, especially because he's also been in and out of the lineup, is OG Anunoby, who's secretly, quietly sneaking around, having a phenomenal season for the Toronto Raptors. Obviously, he had some stuff going on, personal issues at the beginning of the year, and he's been dealt with injuries the past week. So it's been an unlucky year for OG to stay on the court. But when he's been out there, he's been absolutely phenomenal. And I think the lack of games or something is overshadowing that, in my opinion. Because people aren't really talking about OG. But he's really taken a step forward this season. His cutting ability, his basketball awareness was already a plus for him last year. But it's amped up to an even greater extent. He's cutting to the rim, and he's got that extra bounce. He's dunking everything, which is really good to see. He's more confident in his three-point shot. He can handle the ball a little bit. 15 points from OG tonight. Really impressed with what I saw, especially from being out for a solid week with an injury. OG Anunoby is going to be a ridiculous NBA player. Everyone, you look at him, he's so big, he's so strong. OG is going to just dominate the league once he puts it all together. I really love what I'm seeing from OG, and I can't wait to see him on a more consistent basis, see him in the groove of the season, because I think he might be able to have a Siakam type impact. Because we've raved, we've ranted about Pascal Siakam, how great he's been, and I think OG, just because of lack of games, which is unfortunate, hasn't really gotten that credit. But he's taken a great major leap forward. It was very rare last year to see OG score above 10 points. He do other things on the court. That's where he's very valuable. But this season, you look at the box scores, and he's putting in 15 points, 17 points, 15 points. And it's really great to see because we know OG does all the other things. Defensively, Clamp God. Well, I guess we have Kawhi now, so he's the new Clamp God. But the Clamp Brothers. He's a member of the Clamp Brothers, and he rebounds, he's intimidating, he does smart things with the ball, swings the ball in the midst of the offense. He does all that sort of stuff, but where OG struggled last year is just being able to be a consistent offensive producer in terms of scoring. That was his biggest issue, and this year he's kind of putting that to rest. He's obviously got a lot more to improve. He's only 20, I believe, so shout out to OG. Hopefully, he stops having bad luck in regards to staying on the court and all that. Love what I've seen from him. DeLon had a very solid game tonight too. 100% from the field, 10 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Just a classic DeLon Wright game. Really liked what I seen from DeLon. Hit a few threes, couple threes. One little nasty little step back as well. DeLon Wright gets that consistent 3-ball going. We all know how nasty he'd be. Serge Ibaka came off the bench tonight, played really well, got some buckets down low. Him and Fred were tied for the highest plus-minus, and Serge Ibaka had some nasty blocks tonight. I know he had one on Satoransky, I believe, who sent that thing back, and it's not the Kawhi you do him like that play of the day, but Serge sent a shot back, and Kawhi came down for a dunk. Serge starting or on the bench, playing really, really, really well this season. And Jonas Valanciunas, he started the game very strong, 18 minutes, but it seemed like once he got back into the game, didn't really have the same energy, same attack. Guess he was getting flashbacks of Marcin Gortat. Jonas, he has his players that he completely owns in the NBA, but Marcin Gortat, at least when he was in his prime, or relatively in his prime, playing for the Wizards, he'd always own Jonas, which hurt to see as they're both. Usually that's the type of player Jonas really thrives against, but, Marcin Gortat had his number. Maybe he was getting flashbacks, I don't know, in the second half. Good first half. Would have liked to see it carry over a little bit longer. I want to see a few more JV threes. This year, usually you'd be taking one a game last year, but nothing really here tonight from JV. So that's not, if that's your biggest complaint, there's nothing wrong with this game. And Danny Green, 3 for 7 from the 3-point line, 9 points. He always gives you the defense, but once again, I gotta say, Danny Green, I love when he's shooting. It makes me feel so good to have a player that lets it fly and you're sure it's going in. Whether it goes in or not, you feel like it's going in when Danny Green shoots it. Love to see a player like that. Shout out to Danny Green. Really, really underrated pickup. Really, really underrated pickup. Love what Danny Green's been doing. Now, before we get into the segments, I also want to mention the Toronto Raptors uniforms, the Toronto Raptors kits that they've been using, the North Over Everything brand, whatever it is. I don't know what they're named after, if it's OVO or anything like that. Regardless, those kits are absolutely amazing. I don't know what people are kind of decisive on it. I can't see how the white and gold, it's so clean, it's so nice. I like them better than the black jerseys. The white and gold, I am a huge fan of. I love what they're doing. Obviously Drake's been on tour, so he hasn't been able to catch Raptors games. I'm sure that's why we haven't seen them yet. They're coming in so late in the year. But my God, those white and gold jerseys, I love the Toronto Raptors. The classic white and red represents Canada and all that. But the white and gold is clean. With the black on it, I know it's OVO and we can't really make our team the Toronto Drakes, but it's a very clean look. Kawhi looked really nice in MC. And OG, I think OG rocked the white and gold the best in my opinion. With the shooting sleeve ready to come in. Got the swollenness about him. I was really happy with the jerseys. Let me know what you guys think of the jerseys, because I know the opinions from the people I've talked to have been decisive. I don't see how it's decisive. I think they're just too clean to even argue. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below if you like the jerseys, if you like the ones from last season better. If you're just you don't like the color scheme, anything like that. Because I want to know people's opinions on these jerseys, because I really, really like them. But anyways, regardless, this is a Raptors show, not a fashion show, so we got to get straight into it. The Kawhi You Do 'Em Like That play of the day. And tonight, the Kawhi You Do 'Em Like That starts off, it looks like it could be an OG's. Kawhi Leonard takes the ball, airballs a 3, but then Lowry comes in, saves the ball. The ball gets swung around the 3-point line, left, right, and center, ends up in Serge's hands for an open 3. And, we always flame Serge for shooting too many threes, but hit his 1-3 tonight on this possession. Don't mind it in that circumstance because, Serge Ibaka letting it fly. That save from Lowry was ridiculous. Definitely made me say, Kawhi, you do him like that to the Raptors, because the poor Wizards thought they were getting an easy airball inbound, and then they come back with a big old 3. Toronto Raptors out here saying, Kawhi, you do him like that to that team. Anyways, not all plays can be the Kawhi, you do him like that play of the day, and some just make you say, oh, geez. And tonight, the OG's play of the day, it's going to my guy, Greg Monroe. Obviously didn't get too many minutes tonight, 3 minutes, but in his 3 minutes, made an impact on this game, getting the OGs. Came out and let it fly from 3. Saw him get it, and it was a bit baffling, So you don't expect Greg Monroe. It was kind of like Jonas last year when he first started letting it fly, or 2 seasons ago. I think I still remember the first Jonas in Game 3. I believe that I recognized. It was a bit jarring seeing him. I think it was 2 years ago against the Cleveland Cavaliers at the end of the season. And if people remember this game, let me know in the comment section below. But it was before the playoffs, and Jonas just got the ball at the top of the key, hesitated a little bit, just let it fly. It was a bit jarring. And tonight, the same sort of deal. Greg Monroe let it fly from 3, and made me say OGs at the TV. Didn't make it. I was hoping he was going to make it so we can get the death taxes and Greg Monroe 3s and have him coming off the bench as a 3-point sniper. But the meme gods wouldn't have it, so that's how it goes. But definitely made me say, oh, geez, as a Raptors fan. And finally, the infamous, the worst DeMar Carroll Gold Star Award. And tonight, I love CJ. love him as a player, but he didn't have an awful night. Had 9 points, but his 3-point shot really got to go in. I know he's coming off injury and all that, and I'm a kind of a CJ apologist. I'm a Raptors apologist. People of the podcast know I love everyone on this roster, and I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, but CJ really needs to get more consistent from behind the arc. He really needs, the Raptors need that if he's going to be in the rotation. I haven't lost confidence in him at all. I know he's got a nice stroke, a nice form, all that sort of stuff, but 1 for 7 from the 3-point line tonight, and we want to see CJ just be able to knock down those shots. We want the same feeling that we get from Danny Green when he shoots it from CJ. Because Danny Green's a better defender and is more all-around game as well, which makes him a more, valuable piece. But CJ is just a 3-point sniper. That's what he does. He can kind of get to the rim. We saw a bit of that tonight, but where CJ would be most valuable, especially to the bench mob, is being able to hit those threes. I know he hit one, but CJ gotta stop sleeping out here. He's got to get out of his CJ's PJs. The GoDaddy curse is on him as well, so we can't really blame the person. Always blame GoDaddy. But anyways, CJ knocked down some threes. We'd really appreciate it as Raptors fans. And a second, tonight, late podcast, so you get a double dose of the DeMar Carroll Gold Star Award, and it's going to the Wizards. And for similar reasons, the Wizards miss a lot of shots. They're a very poor shooting team. You look at their 3-point splits. You watch it during the game, and you see them, missing shots and all that. But just look at it. Just hear the numbers from the 3-point line. Otto Porter Jr. 1 for 6 from 3. Kelly Oubre 0 for 6 from 3. Thomas Bryant, I believe his name is, 1 for 4. John Wall 1 for 7 from 3. Bradley Beal 1 for 3. Omri White 0 for 1. Markieff Morris 2 for 6. Jeff Green 0 for 5. Austin Rivers, the only player shooting 50%, 2 for 3, and Satoransky 1 for 4. That's some very bad percentages out there, and the Wizards are too talented of a team. I know I mentioned for people that watch the Bradley Beal video that I'm really confused as to why they're this bad, because they have a very strong backcourt. Their bench isn't horrible. I know they've had a lack of depth at center as. They don't play Mahimi anymore despite a $16 million contract. Dwight Howard's been out of the lineup, hasn't played tonight, so they're running, people that aren't very good, at least at that position. But John Wall, Bradley Beal, Kelly Oubre, Otto Porter Jr., Markieff Morris, Jeff Green, Austin Rivers, Satoransky, all those players I just named are NBA guys. They're guys that have been around the league, they've produced, and it's very, and obviously John Wall and Bradley Beal are all-stars, and Otto Porter's a max contract guy, undeservedly so. Not to hate on his money or anything, but he's not a caliber of player that makes $28 million a year. But, a team like that should not be 6-12, especially in the Eastern Conference. So, very interesting to see. The Wizards, you're getting the DeMar Carroll Gold Star Award as well, especially for that shooting performance he put on tonight. Anyways, that's enough for me. Before I end the podcast, we have a few more shout-outs, as obviously I made the shout-outs a day after we made the Bradley Beal video for people that stayed longest. So we got a few more names. If I missed you, let me know in the comment section below, because this is the last time I'm going to check for the podcast shout-out. So just, if you want a shout-out, make it at the end of the video, let me know in these comments, because obviously it's tough to scour through YouTube comments. They don't have a good grep filter, all that sort of stuff. Anyways, so shout out to Adam Edwards. Shout out to you, my guy, for making through the vid. Victor Majid, thanks, my guy. Appreciate the support. Once again, if I pronounce your name wrong, flame me in the comments. I don't care. If you listening back to the last set of shoutouts, it was pure comedy. People that don't usually listen to the podcast, some of my friends that aren't Raptors fans. I know Riker wasn't on the pod, and he was flaming me through text and all that. So don't be worried about flaming me or telling me when I get your names wrong. Don't take it personal. My handwriting's also bad. But anyways, Anthony Lowe, I believe it is. Shout out to you, my guy. We appreciate your support. James Fredericks, shout outs. Left, right, and center. Alex, don't know your last name, but Alex, you're the man. Parmveer Singh, you're the guy. You're my guy. Apologize if I messed up your name there, but we appreciate everyone. Animal Oberol, Oh my god, this is horrible. And I'm in the morning too. I can't say names. I apologize. But Anmal Oberol. I'm gonna stick with that. I apologize. Let me know in the comment section below if I messed it up. Julian, thanks for listening to the pod. We appreciate you. And we got an Instagram DM. I'm telling you, if you go on the Instagram, you follow us, you stay in tune. You're out here as well. Muhammad from Mississauga. Shout out to you, my guy. Slide in the DMs. We really appreciate everyone. The Raptors Digest community, it's growing, and Riker and I know I'm rambling here. It's the end of a podcast, but it's early in the morning. But we really appreciate you guys, and you guys have been making really, really nice comments ever since we started. We really appreciate the support. I know Riker. I'm not sure if he mentioned it on his solo pod, but he's in Europe, traveling across Europe right now. He's just in Chile on exchange, and now he's going to try and be as many pods as possible. So I just want to, give his sentiment as well. But we really appreciate all you guys. We're going to keep making content, keep getting everything out, and check out Courtside Connect. That's getting off the ground now as well. I've been a bit sick the past couple days, so we're trying to get that more consistent, and we're trying to make weekly, daily videos on that channel, and we got some weird segment pieces that are in the works over there as well. So we really appreciate if you guys check that out. We got the face reveals, the cool different editing things. Anyways, enough of me rambling. The Toronto Raptors won against the Washington Wizards. Got a big game. We play the Miami Heat, then a very tough schedule coming up. So it's going to be exciting times to see the Raptors, see us face some adversity. Really excited. Anyways, I'm signing off. Cheers.